Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be talking about the Jimmy Butler trade situation and just kind of some updates regarding the situation. So without further ado, make sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe. Let's get into it. Alright everyone, so first things first, Chris Haynes recently just dropped a report a couple hours ago saying that the Milwaukee Bucks have no interest in Bradley Beal whatsoever. So if you're kind of confused when I say that, let me just kind of catch you up on this. So in order for this to kind of work out, Milwaukee has been rumored to be one of the teams that were, I guess, interested in Bradley Beal. So a potential framework of a trade would be Beal to Milwaukee, Chris Middleton to Miami, then Jimmy Butler would most likely be going to the Phoenix Suns. And then another team, I know this is going to be like one of the biggest trades in NBA history regarding teams that are going to be involved, because it's going to be at least 3 to 5. I could see the Pistons getting involved. I can also see the Pistons being another potential destination for Bradley Beal in regards to being another ball handler next to Cade Cunningham. Somebody else who just can have the ball in their hands besides Cade. So I guess let's get into it, see what Chris Haynes is talking about. I guess I'm just going to say my opinion on Chris Haynes. I don't fuck with dude at all. I think he's a great reporter, and I like the news that he does. But anything regarding the Phoenix Suns, he's terrible with. But I do know that he does have connections within the Milwaukee Bucks organization, and he is close with Damian Lillard. So I guess let's take a look at this, see what he's talking about, and we'll just kind of break it down from there.
Chris Haynes with another Haynes Brief for you today. Contrary to popular belief, I was just informed that the Milwaukee Bucks have not inquired about Phoenix Suns star Bradley Beal. In fact, it was explained to me that a connection between the two is non-existent. So if Phoenix is able to acquire Jimmy Butler, it would not come via the Milwaukee Bucks taking on the star guard. This is Chris Haynes, and you've been briefed.
So there you have it. Chris Haynes breaking the news that the Milwaukee Bucks would not be interested in facilitating Bradley Beal to Milwaukee. Once again, I'm not a big belief. I'm not huge on Chris Haynes and his reports when it comes to the Phoenix Suns. I know, what was it? I think when Chris Paul, he said that he was going to get waived, but he got traded instead. I remember this. I actually kind of remember breaking this news now. So it was back when we acquired Bradley Beal, I believe. The Suns were going to waive and I think stretch Chris Paul. I think that was the report. I'll put a screenshot of it up here on the screen so that you guys can see that. Just so you guys know that I'm not making this up. But it was something like that, and then he ended up getting traded. But just goes to show Chris Haynes, when it comes to the Suns, his reporting's been kind of shoddy. It's a 50-50, but just when it comes to the Suns, I'm not a huge believer in his reporting. But I do know, I believe John Gambadora, if I'm pronouncing that right, one of the more accurate Suns insiders, I would say the most accurate. Anything that he says it's spot on. He doesn't miss on anything in terms of Suns news. This is the guy to follow, John Gambo on Twitter. This is where he breaks all of his news. So just kind of take a look at this. We're going to be going through some of his replies because he did answer some questions as well. I believe he did say something yesterday, if I can go back in his tweets. Was yesterday? Today's the 21st or 22nd. So here's with the picks. Here it is. So we actually reported this on January 6th. As for Beal, the no trade looms large. As you guys may know, Bradley Beal has said in an interview when he was asked that he holds all the cards. Ultimately, he does. None of this can happen unless Bradley Beal is open away from that no trade clause and going somewhere. That's that. If he says no, which let me break down kind of both sides for this. Now, if you look at Bradley Beal's situation, he just relocated from Washington via trade. He's been here in Phoenix for 2 years now. He finally got established. I know his wife has a shop in Phoenix somewhere. His kids just, they all got settled in. They're finally established in schools and stuff like that. So outside of basketball, I can see why you wouldn't want to waive this no trade clause. Now, I'm not going to speak on Bradley Beal or for Bradley Beal, but in terms of being a basketball player, I'm gonna speak on this from if I was in his position. If I'm hearing all these reports, and not just reports. I mean, I don't know what it's like inside that Suns locker room this year. I know last year it was pretty bad, um, but I mean, he was starting, man. He was a starter, and now he got moved to the bench. Bradley Beal has started his whole NBA career, besides probably a couple games when he was a rookie. Now he's off the bench, and he's getting like 4 shots a game. In that last game against the Cavaliers where Beal played, he played 25 minutes and got 4 shots, had 5 points. When you think of Bradley Beal, you don't think of Bradley Beal having 4 shots. Now I'm going to speak if I was Bradley Beal in this situation. I'm waiving that no trade clause, and I'm going anywhere. Not really anywhere, but somewhere. It just kind of depends where he's at. I mean, I'm probably going to go waive my no trade clause to go play in Milwaukee. As it says right here, Beal could have went to Milwaukee before he ended up in Phoenix, but then turned down. That was turned down. Have heard he would waive his no trade clause for LA, Miami, Denver, but I do not believe there are a few others that he could ultimately decide to work for him. So yeah, and Miami has no interest in Beal at all. There's that. So if they did have interest in Beal, I would think this deal would be done already, because I do think Bradley Beal would be open. As you can see here, yeah, he would waive his no trade clause to go to Miami, but that's not happening. But just from the basketball side of things obviously aren't good in Phoenix. The relationship is, I mean, damage has been done. I mean, he was out tonight against the Nets. I thought for sure in my last video that I uploaded that a trade was definitely going to be done. I thought the next video I was going to make was going to be a Jimmy Butler is officially a Phoenix Suns video. But with the Chris Haynes deal, once again, I don't know about Chris Haynes when it comes to the Suns, but I do know that he has some connections within the Milwaukee Bucks circle. So there's that. But yeah, Beal would be open to waive his no trade clause, as reported, to Milwaukee, which I don't think is a bad option for him in his career. He can still contend. But I guess if you want to collect a paycheck in a really nice state and really nice climate, Phoenix is the way to go, and just pray that you can make it work. But something else that stood out to me, this was after. Alright guys, so after, what the fuck? Alright, so after the Chris Haynes news broke, my guy, Swavey Keys, he does have some sources. Swavey Keys, he knows what he's talking about when it comes to the Suns. Definitely go give him a follow. Go give him a sub over on YouTube as well. I believe his channel is also just Swavey Keys. But if you do follow him, like most of the Suns basketball community, he did say, let me pull this back up because I don't know why it disappeared. I guess we're having technical difficulties. He said, shit stains and then briefs I fear. And then I replied, thought so, because I don't fuck with Chris Haynes in terms when it comes to the Suns news. So what he means by that is pretty much he's full of shit, if you guys didn't get that. I think that's pretty obvious, but I believe he also replied saying, dude full of shit. And then here's that Chris Paul thing once again, where Chris Haynes broke the news that Phoenix Suns notified star Chris Paul that he will be waived, making the future Hall of Famer one of the top free agents this offseason. Sources tell NBA and TNT, and then Bleacher Report. And then the guy quoted that saying, this guy, the one who got this info from CP3's camp to tank his value. LMAO, stop using mouthpieces for legit info, for fuck's sake. So, just gathering all that information, I think we see a Jimmy Butler trade soon. I still think I think this might be, I mean, if you look at it this way, this is just kind of a theory, but considering Haynes does have some connections within the Bucks organization, maybe this is a last minute media flash or media bomb, you know, to maybe decrease the value, to have the Suns add in more assets. I'm not sure. I don't know if that really makes sense, but that's the only logical thing I can think about when it comes to this situation. So I guess you guys can make your own judgments and opinions, just kind of based on information I shared with you guys today, and just kind of what you guys have been seeing as well. I'm sure you guys are also very tapped in when it comes to news and media around basketball. So please comment down below your thoughts and opinions. I would like to go through and read them and reply to them as well. So with that being said, guys, hopefully the next video I do make is a Jimmy Butler trade. It'd be pretty cool. And once again, I guess hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and then turn on post notifications, because I will be posting on here a lot more. And in regards to the Jimmy Butler situation, I'm going to try to keep you guys as updated as possible outside of my Instagram. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one. Peace.